trying to say, yeah, let's acknowledge the accomplishments that we get and got going on because we doing good. We doing good. We can always get better. And getting better don't need to be stress. Getting better needs to be your purpose in life, one of your purposes in life. Getting better needs to be one of your blueprints for you never getting bored. And nobody can tell somebody how to get better because everybody's different. That's the good thing about it. But anyway, I just wanted to say these messages, these new messages, go back and listen to the messages in 2018. Oh my God, it was miserable. Even if they came from spiritualist folks, religious folks, whatever, they were still miserable. They were low. They were kind of, the frequency was off. But these new messages, like, I listen a lot to them, like Vibrational Universe, The Anointed Path. I'm saying this so y'all won't get tainted. I'm saying this so y'all will evolve, so y'all do get better. I ain't saying this so you can go get AI and remodify AI. That little game that AI got going on, where you remodifying everything, you need to know your spot, pick your spots with that, you know. But let real be real. Try to separate real from fake, especially if you are the one that's designing all this. Don't never try to mix the real with the fake. I ain't saying AI is fake or nothing, but you gotta give people their credit. It's only fair. Um, um, what else I was saying? Oh yeah, Stephanie. P something. Stephanie P something. I probably know it, but I ain't gonna say all that. But and the wise one. The Zen. I don't listen to many people. I like Naruto. I like all the anime. I like every different anime, not just Naruto. I like a lot of anime. Dragon Ball. I can't even name. I ain't seen them in so long, about 7 years. There's a lot of them out there, some new ones I ain't seen, like the guy that was crying and he beat up. He can fight real good. He started crying, remind me of my brother. Uh, uh, but Jackie, I listen to Miss Jackie. Cause I don't go no farther really. I don't even scroll. Go to the first little box. Watch a lot of MMA stuff, just motivational stuff. Dancing in them little dolls, videos, stuff like that. Stuff make me laugh from time to time. But um, I like Joe Rogan stuff. There's a lot of people, y'all. But the messages, like I said, the wise one. I know some people. Well, and a lot of y'all might not feel these people. You know, you might have your own input about these people. You might know something about these people, but you know that's who don't you know nothing about? We evolving. We evolving every day. People change every day. One of one of the main issues I used to have, especially dealing with purgatory, was that literally I used to meet people say, people never change. All men are dogs, all women are whores. And they purposely set out in the world, got groups and everything just to prove that. And they go above and beyond to get it done. All people, all men are abusive. or vice versa sometimes. Um, 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 I done heard them all, but who don't you know nothing about? You know, everybody change, people change, change is meant to be done, change is inevitable. So that's a lie. When people talk like that, you in that narcissist mode. You on that demon time. You looking for the wrong thing. You starting to when you talk like that, you already manifesting that. When you talk like that, that's how easy it's very easy to separate yourself from people. That chloride boy, I'm telling you, it's all over the place. they done went crazy with the chloride boy. But uh I think I seen somebody change a pipeline, bro, a few years ago. It's something about chloride though. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's something about chloride in the spiritual. I hear chloride a lot in the spiritual. Probably bad, I'm sure, but anyway, but like I said, y'all probably know things. Y'all probably seen these people do stuff. That ain't gonna change them from being floats, conduits. That ain't gonna change them. They still chosen to be who they are. Angels. They might be still asleep. That ain't gonna change nothing though. They gonna wake up, they wake up. Everybody gotta wake up. You gotta evolve to wake up. I just wanna say it. I'm finna help you. Go listen to y'all messages back in 2018, 2019 compared to y'all messages now. It don't even matter if y'all ciphering from the bottles good. In a good way. You learning from the trendsetter instead of killing the trendsetter and claiming you the trendsetter. Good. Good. Because it's just about re-navigating you back on the right path. And like me, I would love to tell jokes all the time, but you gotta get into jokes. You gotta get into these ways. This ain't the time for me to be doing that. I'm still evolving in a direction and a path that I can't explain to the world, and you would get it, and you would understand it. And it ain't my job to explain it to you because it's none of your business. It's between me and God. And that's what I gotta do. I know what I need to do, you know. That's what everybody else need to get to in their own life. You need to know what you need to do to better yourself, not what nobody else tell you, how they tell you, and how they feel about you. You didn't build that relationship with the Creator. You need to get back in synchronicity with the universe and coexist with the universe. Like I said, uh, these new messages like this, I like to listen to a lot of Chosen One messages. They real good. Uh, and like everybody elevating good. Start and let's say you utilize somebody in the bottom to elevate to a certain degree. Good. Don't step down. That's it. You got a good message. Let's say you do messages. Well, focus on it. Like not too much focus on it, but you did a great message. You know it was great. You felt it was great all inside. Well, you know you don't want to go backwards. Then you got a good. That's your new beginning. Same thing with music. Same thing with anything else. You remember that energy. Remember how you felt in that energy. Remember what you did when you was in that energy. Remember what had kept you elevated to be in that energy. And keep yourself there. That's work within itself. And then you got to keep yourself there until you reform yourself. And then you going to elevate. Let's say you did get it from a bottle person or whatever. Well, you gonna elevate now because you gonna listen to it yourself and say, wait a minute, I see a mirror. I see where I need to be. I see where I'm good at. I see what I remember again. There you go. Now we're going back home. Going back to what we're supposed to be. Going back to Genesis. So I just want to say I'm proud of everybody changing, elevate. And like, okay, let's say you readers and you was playing both sides of the field and you trying to get back on the right side of the field. Well, taper off, abstract, slowly reposition yourself. You're doing what's right. You're doing, yeah. Slowly reposition yourself, and when you do that, notice the energy in such a way to where especially if you're a car reader, stuff like that, especially when you notice it in your faith, in your health, in your youthfulness. You know what I'm saying? And then it's a lot of people out there. And then you got other people out there that done somehow we went through a sex round. Right when I did a lecture about it, if it made it out there and nobody recycled it and throw what they want and kept what they wanted. Throw what they want, throw in the trash and kept what they wanted. But I did a lecture, I said somehow we was in a sex round and everybody was breeding. Everybody was breeding, mating. Everybody was. And a lot of people, I ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of people that really wasn't supposed to be, you know, just a lot going on. And after that storm, which it was a storm, a lot of STDs came out, a lot of stuff came out. It was like, it was some real black, it was some real dark, sinister stuff. I don't even think it was dark and sinister, bro. It could have been a portal or something. It was something going on, and nobody could. Cause I know even my hormones revved up, but I knew better to listen to it. That's like hormones. Like I say, sex is the first drug. Hormones rev up just like if you trying to quit a drug and you urging to go to that drug and you got to go put yourself. Some people have to put themselves in a rehabilitation clinic so they can't get to that drug. And that's what it is, bro. Your hormone do that. That's the first drug. It revs up. I had to shut it down. You could disable it, but the problem is you gotta, reconnect it, and that get difficult. That's what they doing inside of me. And when you disable it, it affects you in a lot of ways. Just different ways for different folk. But you gotta reconnect it. And I accidentally did it. I don't know if I accidentally did it. I think the general did it or somebody did. They disabled it. Because like I said, I was the kind of person I couldn't be around. I couldn't sleep with everybody and anybody. So they disabled it. But you normal person couldn't tell. Like, I can still do this, do that. I ain't got a problem, you know what I'm saying? But you can disable it though. I remember when I disabled mine, cause I remember I was doing some holistic healing. They said, "Why are you doing that?" I said, "Cause I don't need it right now." I don't need it right now. But you learn a lot from studying with holistic. But yeah, y'all messages now, like religious people, spiritual people, y'all messages now is more on the message of no matter where y'all at in y'all life, it might be somewhere you need to be. It might be something you need to observe and embrace and let it reform you. You know, it ain't no bad and good place, bro. Bad and good is just two different extremes. It's something I realized, like for me, the worstest place in my life that I've been running from, going out there to get money to stay away from, traveling to stay away from, doing everything in my power to stay away from, just so happened that's where my purpose was at. So it's amazing how something that get on your nerves so bad, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be at. So you just never know. You gotta be with God, you gotta stay prayed up, and that's another thing. You go to, he said, I ain't finished it. I probably won't get to finish it until later on, but Omega level, chosen one power you can hold, vibration of the universe. Go to that. He talks about that right there. You gotta embrace. You gotta let the moments reform you, cause every moment you go through in your life is a necessity. If you're in a situation where you bored, quit saying, I need this and black. Don't ever get to the point. I ain't never had nobody I can depend on and go to and get something from somebody. So this is the perks from that. Don't ever, if you can help it, don't ever try to stop asking for stuff. Unless somebody put you in a situation like they did me, try to stop asking for stuff. Like in my situation, well, you put me in this situation, you gonna go get this for me, go get that for me. Since ain't nobody gonna tell me why I'm in this situation and what I'm doing in this situation. Well, okay, I have my own life. That means the same people who don't want to tell me the truth, you want to keep playing dumb, like everybody think the whole world dumb. You don't do nobody like me like this. I can see if you try to work on somebody since they was a child, what you did, and you dumbed them down and you slowed them down, and they actually live like that. But everybody remember me. I got a record. I got a record in the street. I got a record in the working world. I got a record in the world. I work hard. I do good. I'm good at what I do. You can't put me in no position like this as if I was slow my whole life and expect everybody to believe you. Made yourself look crazy. Whole family. Everybody made themselves look crazy. You can't do nothing like this. What the hell was y'all thinking? That's why I stepped back and got out of it. Because I'm not going down with you. Not for that. That's embarrassing. You don't do nothing like that. And hopefully y'all done rectified it and fixed it. I wouldn't know. I quit dealing with everybody. I cut myself completely off and joined God. I had to do that anyway. Because the way everybody moving out there was totally different, and it ain't of God. I want to move the way God moved because it makes sense. It made me feel good inside. I done did everything of the world, and it made me feel bad. When I'm over here with God, I'm good. Even if I'm sinning, I'm still with God, and I'm good because God knows it was a mistake. But go back to y'all message and go back to where y'all was and compare to now. You ain't about, this is what you're doing, this is why you probably, you don't know why people like that. If you're in a bottle, you've been kidnapped, you've been unalive, so many ways to get people in a stuck position. Unalive, bottles, kidnapped, Dark Night of the Soul, fraudulent crimes, it's all kind of ways to put somebody in a situation. If it ain't all of that, somebody can put all of that on you. So, and it's a lot of people getting done like that. The Get Out Squad is out here. The Get Out Squad hold an image like they bullies and big bad wolves. They just big babies. They just big babies. Some narcissists, they just mainly big babies though. Need to be put in that place. The problem is that sometimes a higher positions of seat will put them in a high place, and that throws it off for everybody that shouldn't be there. And then that same person who put them in that place got to take them out of that place. That's the worst case scenario. But anyway, like I said, everybody doing better though, because the messages got more stressful than anything. It got to the point for me, I ain't even want to hear you open your mouth. Because I was like, ain't nobody telling nobody how to fit nothing. And at that point, that's when the Diddy thing was a big deal. He was still out doing his thing. Everybody done really was swapping up and really going to these inhumane type of things to live life and saying that's the only way we can live life. And it was obviously of the devil, obviously, in clear day, 8D. Like, do you believe in God or not? You know, do we still believe in God or not? You know, the problem is people think it's uncool to be with God. How when God built the world? God didn't take our television away. God didn't say that Hollywood was bad. God didn't say music was bad. We did all that. We made it bad. Matter of fact, you can go back to the old movies and the old stuff and even the old music and everything. You can say, wow, it sounded like soul was still in it. It was. It's when you did that inhumane thing that the soul left the industry. And that's what we dealing with. That's what we cleaning up now. We got to acknowledge. That's energy we need to acknowledge. That's energy that we can't see, but it's real like oxygen. And that's what we need to pay attention to. We need to fix that. You ain't gonna make me do nothing. I'm telling you. I had a chance where I could have did music and all that, but I knew that we started talking about it in the studio, this is what you got to do. And I just said, well, I buy my own studio. I just love music. I don't care nothing about all that other stuff you got going on. This body belong to God. This soul belong to God. This spirit belong to God. Everything about it belong to God. I ain't doing that. We ain't been having to do it before. And I started to beat them up in there. That's why we got out of there. You know what I'm saying? We was in Atlanta. Well, I think we was in Atlanta. We were talking about, yeah. When it was starting to be a fight in that studio, ain't nobody, you ain't gonna tell me what I supposed, how everybody, what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think nothing emotional got out right, but I just told him no. You know, all it is a simple yes or no, y'all. We ain't got a simple yes or no. We ain't gotta you ain't gotta do nothing. Nobody tell you. I'm gonna tell you something. I want the whole world to sit here and listen to this and really observe this, pay attention to it. I done had organizational covenants or something go around and make sure people don't, cause we stay in a rural area, but so far you could go to get a job. Otherwise, you're gonna drive 2.5 hours away, and then you still might be part of that triangle. And what they'll do is somehow your name will be in the system or something, and they would literally intentionally make sure I can't get no job. And they would, if I try to get, they would sabotage. I ain't never lost no car. I ain't never lost no car through no repo. Never. I bought cars. Cars are easy to pay off. I mean, some people do. It depends on what kind of problem you got, I guess. I ain't never had no, really no financial issue like that. I'm pretty decent with money. And like I said, I always like to walk in the merchant path. I wasn't trying to be just no business owner. I was trying to be a merchant. So, I didn't really like not being able to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? People have those problems though, but that really wasn't one of my problems. So, people would rob me, or they would take from me. All my lovers will steal from me and steal my money and say and it'll be an emergency. We need $8,000. We need this much money, and I might have to sell one of my cars. You know, something like that. That's the most though. And you heard what I said. I might have to sell one of my cars. I had like a dealer license and stuff. I had plenty of cars. I gave cars away for free. But I think at one time we had like 42 cars just to drive at both yards. We had so many cars in this yard, so many cars in the other yard. Okay. Yeah. When you pull that picture back up here again, why write that down? I got my phone now. Don't worry about it. I'll get it later. Okay. Can you remember the name of them? Chet's. What? Chet's. CHEX. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think that's how you spell it. It might be cheese. I don't know. But anyway, they just, like I said, they would set me up to where I can't get a job, and they would set me up to where I get robbed, and they would set me up. And the women friend that I be with would do that too. Like a lot of this started happening when my brother got murdered. It was like when I lost my eyes in the street, I got attacked, you know. But then my grandpa got gone. It was just getting worse and worse. When them three got gone, it was over. But I was just constantly getting attacked. And then now that I'm in this situation, I see all these lovers. I couldn't even call these lovers once they leave. Couldn't even call them. And come to find out they following you and stalking you and harassing you since high school. I had to deal with them, family member, friend. Everybody would just pay this program, whatever this is. And they would get in touch with jobs, make me lose my jobs, all that. So it would get so bad. It was directional. It was directional. This went on for years, man. This went on for years, probably like 25 years, 30 years almost, most of my life. I was already struggling all my life, but when it got to the point where I was building up in the work world, I was starting to get attacked a lot more. and it's like they had this pyramid, and it was like all they wanted me to go to the street. It get to the point where I gotta go to the street, hit a lick, get a hustle or something. Everything will work out. And it's like somebody there with camera. Yeah, just do video. Man, y'all made my life a living hell, boy. And I want my family to understand now. That's why I ain't dealing with y'all. I want y'all to quit telling lies. Everybody wants y'all to quit telling lies, saying you doing this, doing that. And y'all just out there sabotaging people and shit. You know what I'm saying? I done had people be with me and talk about other people and video it and have a voice recorder. And you gotta hit the yeah button, cause they not. I had my brother, one of my other brothers that used to be with me. We were all talking about it in the house. We were like, why certain people just keep gossiping about folks? It's beyond programming. It's a cult covenant stuff, and they doing it to sabotage you. Like they'll go, yeah, that's their job. They get paid just to talk. They can say anything about anybody, and the worst stuff about anything, government stuff, anything. Their job is just to get you to talk. That's it. Run your mouth. That's why you gotta hit that yeah button on them. Or you gonna, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that because they won't stop. That's their job. They get paid. Ain't no telling how good they get. Probably get $2,000-$3,000. You know what I'm saying? Just to get you to talk about somebody. I had to deal with that. Lose your job. So what they do is they redirect you to the street, and then the streets are just they give you these. You get these old nasty people, infested people. You get an infested lover. You get an infested friend. Everything about it is infested, and they want you to be with them and all that. And I had to acknowledge that and notice that before I even decided to be with that. And once I realized that, I just say, okay, I see what's going on, and I just got to myself. And I noticed that a lot of people in the world going through this. A lot of people going through this, man. I don't know what this is, but whatever it is been going on, it probably started real small, but then it got to the point where, because it's one thing I know about sin, you'll get trapped in it, you'll become arrested in your sin. So let's say it's a bunch of big people doing this. These big people are important people that we need to invest in jobs. And let's say jobs are not being invested in. That's because they stuck in these little what they call them not money trails, but they like money gimmicks, man. They like the Hunger Games stuff, like all that was real. And like what it did was when you get arrested by your sins, so let's say these big people sins, rich, wealthy people sins. Well, okay, let's say one person, let's say you playing golf, say, yeah, well, we want to say this, we say these people, you know, like that thing my brother Ice-T made, where he where they kidnapped, told him he can get that money, and they basically kidnapped him, made him go out there and said, we give you so much money if you can get away from us, and they loaded them guns. Go check it out. I can't remember the name. That was a good movie, bro. That movie was underrated. And every actor in there was good. And Ice-T got away from him because he was from the street. So he started jugging him, bro. He knew they were going to kill him and everything. Go check it out. But anyway, that's what they did to everybody slowly, man. Somebody been doing this for a long time. They ain't got nothing to do with color at this point. It was for entertainment, so let's say it's a bunch of West folk playing. I love golf now. But, you know, let's say they playing golf. You know, the big dog playing golf. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a fun game. Everybody wanna be a gangster. Underneath it all, everybody wanna be a gangster, y'all. Everybody wanna be a thug. Everybody wanna be in something dark. Let me tell you this, it's fun. I don't care. That's all programming. That's all systematic programming from like, it's two teams on the field, Satan and God. I'm the kind of person to tell you, let me tell you something interesting. I bet you I can make the world teleport. I have a bunch of billionaires invested in it, bro. Trillionaires. We don't need nobody putting no dual, no turbos on the planet, and no 850 rocket engine on the planet. We don't need nobody doing that. That ain't what we trying to do. I'm talking about actually making it frequency, teleporting up out of here and get close to God. Even my father get, what my planet Earth at? That son of mine, I need all my kids right here, right now. Where is my planet Earth at? You know what I'm saying? Just like that, bro. But they over here talking about these little Hunger Games torturing people to death, bro. And they probably started out Maybe it was on a small scale and nobody really knowed about it, and maybe they did it to somebody who probably maybe deserved it. Ain't don't nobody deserve it though. Okay. Well, the problem is they got arrested till they seen they didn't know it. So let's say you playing golf with your golf, but you told one, boom, they got in him. It's just like the test. You told another, boom, they got in him. Everybody in here now looking at people get tortured to death. Okay, now we need y'all to invest in jobs. And the only reason why I don't speak on this a lot because I know that there's it's like a systematic thing that might be a necessity where it come down to certain, like a country might have to go for so long and struggle so other countries can build up from what I understand. And even something like that could be fixed. Because that don't even make sense. But it's like for that right there is for economy reasons or whatever. So I don't talk much about it because of that one little reason that I don't know much about. So I don't speak on this area in life. But it need to be looked into because something is thrown off real bad. Because one thing for sure, we don't need all those powerful people binded in sin and arrested by their sin and definitely putting their money in something like that. Because by that time, the Ouroboros is eating its own tail. That means we all are eating our own tail. That ain't gonna work. This should have been over. But anyway, I just want to say, like I said, congratulations, I guess. Y'all doing better, you know what I'm saying? Better than what was. It was miserable, bro. Go back. I want everybody to go back to 2018, 2017, even to the most, some messages were pretty good, though. 2017, at least 2017, 2016. By 2018, things started shifting. But 2016, 2017, go listen to the message. Oh my God, same thing. Wasn't nobody getting no help. And it was like, when I finally looked into it, our women, not just black women, but women in general, women was getting dogged out just to have something. It's like the one that had the most was burn up the most. And then for the men, same thing. Getting dogged out just to have something. You know, at somebody's palace. You know what I'm saying? And it's left a person like me in neutral position because I'm not drawing none of that. Both of y'all look like they slid both of y'all on y'all knees to the left and the right. I don't get on my knees. You can cut me off at the knee, cut my legs off, and I still won't be on my knees. Oh, like I like it down there. Ain't that worse than seeing a man on their knees, bro? A woman either, right? Yeah, man, come on. And I ain't talking about, get your mind out the gutter. Period, bro. Like stepping. So what that means when we in our what that mean when we in a position of life where we in solitude, dark night of the soul. Maybe even God understand the fact that we need to grow up and evolve into, because what you want to do when you're in them position, cry, whine, moan, and beg for something. But when you get in them position and you stand up on your feet in them position, you'll come out of them position never begging again. You better know it. That's gonna turn you into a man. So maybe God put that situation in position to reform you. And instead of you trying to reform yourself, you still trying to call somebody to save you. You want somebody to throw the rope to you while you over there in the quicksand. Figure out how to get out of it without the rope. Because it ain't always going to be a Tarzan. I ain't never known it to be one. Maybe if you quit struggling and maybe you just be in peace and breathe, maybe you could just breathe yourself out of there. Maybe you could woo-saw out of there. You never know, bro. But anyway, I want everybody to go back and check it out and then listen to these messages now. Because I'm telling you, I'm a nobody to the world. But I ain't never found a problem that I couldn't rectify, fix. It might took me a little time, but I ain't never found a problem, not a dream I couldn't accomplish or a dream for somebody else to accomplish. I ain't never seen such a problem. So what's wrong with y'all out there? You got all the money, you got all the resources, you got everything to do it with, and you still got a problem. So, like I said, I'm proud of the evolution. I'm proud of, and we got a long way. I got a long way to go. I can tell by my skin changing in and out, but that ain't no real way to tell. But I like to do it that way. But I got a long way to go. And I'm gonna be real with you. Even when I'm finally at I'm almost starting to see what God means by 3 lifetimes. It probably take me 3 lifetimes to perfect myself the way I want to. But I got a long way to go. But I'm enjoying the run. I'm enjoying the race. I'm enjoying the walk. I'm enjoying the journey because I'm no longer binded by all these illusions anymore. That's what it really means to be out of that matrix system.